All right, y'all, let's get into it. All the Queen's Men didn't just end with a cliffhanger. They ended with a straight-up assassination attempt on Madam, our queen. The woman who beat every charge in court and toasted her freedom was gunned down right there in her own office and midnight, stabbed, left for dead. And now we're left asking the only question that really matters. Who shot Madam? Who had the motive, the opportunity, and the audacity to try to take out the most powerful woman in Atlanta nightlife? And while we're diving into suspects on screen, we're also going to talk about what's happening behind the curtain, because Christian Keys, the creator of this chaos, has been real. He's been very real, very open, very transparent about the struggle to keep the show alive. Season 5 hasn't found a home yet, right? And while he's fighting the network politics, he's teasing us with something else, this full-on Vegas stage play version of All the Queen's Men. So what does that mean for the future of the show and the storylines we're all invested in? Let's go ahead and break this all down. First, let me just acknowledge that this was indeed the perfect cliffhanger. Chef's kiss on the brilliance of the setup. Madam, she survived the trial, humiliated the DA, made Detective Davis lose her mind, and walked out untouchable. She had the moment of triumph, right? And then they hit us with this bullet, literally. And I've said this before, this is a classic Who Shot JR callback. But unlike the nighttime soap opera Dallas, wait a minute, do y'all remember Dallas in the first place, the nighttime series? Do y'all remember that? I know I do, because it was like one of the most talked about episodes in history, and in my history anyway, until now, right? But this one is layered with characters who all had solid reasons to want Madam gone. This wasn't just some random drive-by. This was personal. So let's go down the list one by one. And I want to start with Tony, because she was the loudest threat. After Jean's club mysteriously burned down, Tony came straight for Madam. She blamed her for everything. She even blamed her for ruining Amp's life, her son, for destroying her inheritance, and for humiliating her. She's always humiliating Tony in front of everyone. Now, her motive is revenge, of course. Tony feels robbed of her own club. And let's bear in mind that this is Tony's opportunity to become her own version of Madam, right? But no longer, because Madam took care of all of that. She was not going to go head to head in direct competition with her own sister, who she, in her eyes, is mediocre to her. Well, everybody's mediocre to Madam. But Tony is reckless. She pretty much knows Madam's every move. She knows the layout of the club, so she would definitely know when and how to trip Madam up. But here's the thing. Tony talks too much, and she talks too loud. She's obvious, right? And she's impulsive. Would the writers really make her the shooter, or is Tony the red herring? Like, is she the one who we're meant to suspect while the real killer lurks in the shadows? I don't know. Then let's go to suspect number 2. We have Carla. Carla, on paper, she's Madam's sister, her blood, but blood doesn't guarantee loyalty. And this character, Carla, she spent the entire season drowning in envy. The field scene that she had with Tony, it really told us everything. Tony knows that Carla doesn't have it in her to hurt anybody or to harm anybody, right? Carla feels like she's been left out with nothing while Madam has it all. And Carla's motive is jealousy and desperation, right? If Madam is gone, Carla gets to shine just the way that she wants to. She could take over Maddie B's and maybe even Club Eden. And Carla has already proven to us that she's in deep shady dealings with Tony. So she's proven that she's capable of plotting behind Madam's back. Carla also had access, and she has this calm, quiet demeanor to slip past any suspicion that Blue may have had about her. Now, if it was Carla, the betrayal cuts deepest, right? And from a director's standpoint, betrayal by a family member that's close to you, it always lands the hardest blow. Then we have Detective Davis. She swore that justice would be hers, right? She screamed, she raged, she was humiliated in open court, and then she was dragged out like a fool. But her obsession with Madam, it runs deep. Now, her motive, of course, is justice, or at least her twisted version of it. And to her, Madam represents everything wrong in the system. And as a detective, she has her weapons, her training, and her knowledge of how to cover her tracks, right? Especially when it comes to Doc. You know, she just can't leave it alone, and we know why. And she also pretty much knows Madam's patterns, and she could easily slip into her office under the guise of quote unquote official business. So she could slip right past Blue without blinking an eye. Now, we cannot underestimate our next suspect here, Tandy. In one of the creepiest scenes, she literally said that she wished Madam was dead, all while Quincy is, of course, sitting there on her couch like a spoiled kid, eating a bowl of cereal, watching TV. I don't know, Tandy likes him young and immature. And Tandy is unraveling. Her political career is on shaky ground at best, and Madam has threatened to expose her darkest secret. And Tandy's motive would be self-preservation. If Madam spills the beans about her rigged election or her husband's death, Tandy's life is over. Tandy has money, she's got power, and access to people who can quote unquote handle things. She doesn't really need to pull the trigger herself. She can hire somebody to do it, right? And her opportunity, I don't know, she's been at odds with Madam for seasons now. I mean, this could have been her breaking point, right? And from a storytelling angle, Tandy is a perfect balance of personal grudge and political fallout. If she orchestrated the hit, the war escalates beyond the club. It goes into politics, media, and power. And we can't sleep on our obvious suspect, Raphael Damascus. Remember when he asked Madam if she was bulletproof? Okay, that wasn't small talk. That may have been foreshadowing. And to be honest, we still don't know the full scope of Raphael's agenda, right? But this line, I'm thinking, is a warning. Well, it was a warning. I mean, he clearly has the resources and the guts to follow through. But Raphael Damascus, he hasn't been messy thus far, right? He's pretty quiet about how he moves. I don't know if he's going to just be making threats like that and then follow through with them, but he has been close enough to deliver veiled threats already, right? And if he is behind it, the storyline could really expand into something bigger. Think about it, a war with forces we really haven't seen fully yet. And the timing of this shooting is critical, right? Madam has just won in court. She was planning this big PR move with the children's safe space. She was just about to step into legit territory, and killing her at this moment stops her evolution cold. Now, who benefits the most from Madam staying the villain? Tony and Carla, of course. Who benefits from silencing her secrets? Tandy. Who benefits from justice outside of the courtroom? Davis. So it's going to be really hard to tell. Now, we all know who stabbed Midnight. It was Crazy Renee, right? But is he dead? Of course, we're going behind the scenes again, where Christian was talking about someone being disrespectful behind the scenes. And even while they're filming, they're drunk, they're high, they can't deliver their lines. So he let us know that someone may not be going over into season 5. So Midnight's character, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's him, but it looked like it's going to be him. Okay. Like, that's just my opinion. That's not factual, so I don't want to hear this on the internet because I didn't say that. This is just my opinion. And while we're talking about my opinion, let's just step outside the show for a moment, because the drama isn't just on the screen. Christian has already told us that he's been very open. Like I said before, and it's an uphill battle for this show to keep all the Queen's men alive for season 5. I don't know, he still doesn't really have a confirmed home, and that means as much as we're screaming about Madam shooting, the bigger cliffhanger is whether we'll even get to see the resolution. Right? Keys has hinted at his frustration with the industry, on multiple occasions, the politics, the lack of support despite the fan base, and the constant battle to secure a platform for a show that clearly delivers. It's art imitating life, because Madam is fighting enemies on all sides in the script, right? And Keys is fighting networks in real life. But here's a twist. While he's trying to lock down the future of the TV show, Keys is also pivoting. He announced plans for a Vegas stage play version of All the Queen's Men. And if you've been following his words, he wants it to be big, bold, and theatrical, something you can only experience live. And I can definitely relate to that. As a director, a lot of times people will ask me, well, did you film the show? And you really can't, because you can't really capture a live experience on film. Like, it's just different, right? But imagine Eden on a Vegas stage. Lights, music, dancers, Madam's throne, the glitz of Vegas mixed in with the grit of the Atlanta underworld. It's immersive, it's interactive, and it's Keys proving proving that if networks don't get on board, he'll take the story directly to the people. Now, again, from a director's standpoint, this is genius. The play gives fans something tangible, something live, something they can buy tickets to, and it builds up the hype. It keeps the brand alive, and it proves that the demand is real. And I don't know, Keys may be onto something here. So on screen, it's the ultimate test of loyalty, power, and betrayal. We don't know if she'll survive, and we don't know who betrayed her. And off screen, it's symbolic. Keys has left us bleeding out, right? Not knowing if we'll get another season, while dangling the promise of a Vegas resurrection. The cliffhanger isn't just Madam's fate, it's also the fate of the show. So, who shot Madam? Was it Tony with her rage, Carla with her envy, Davis with her obsession, Tandy with her desperation, or was it Raphael Damascus with his cryptic threats? We don't know yet, but every suspect is juicy, every motive makes sense, and every angle keeps us guessing. And as far as fans go, we're not just asking who pulled the trigger, we're also asking, will we even get to see the answer? This is the real cliffhanger that Christian Keys has left us with. But one thing is clear, whether it's season 5 on a network or if it's a Vegas stage play under some neon lights, All the Queen's Men is far from done, and Madam, shot or not, she's not going quietly. And just know, if this show goes to Vegas, we're gonna all have to go. So maybe we can put something together here on the channel. That'll be exciting, right? It'll be great to see you guys in person. But anyway, let me go ahead and thank DeMarcus. Thank you so much, DeMarcus, for your super thanks. I really appreciate it. You guys don't have to do this, but you do. And I appreciate it. Like, I really do. To have this platform and to get to communicate and interact with you guys, it's like, it really makes my day when I'm able to get around to it. It's really satisfying to me as a creator. So thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for the super thanks. Like, I really appreciate each and every one of you. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You know I'd appreciate it. And if you're a fan of All the Queen's Men like I am, then go ahead and sub to the channel for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much once again, you guys, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.